There's another one. Yeah, good. You got to see it.
The height of the farm grid really depends if you're going to be on a rough ocean or on a calm lake. I recommend 5 levels above the water for a calm lake, but here we're going for the ocean, so we're going to go with 7 levels high. You can build this auto fish farming grid anywhere you'd like. I'm just building a simple walkway out to the water zone, just to have a simple, easy area that not going to distract us, just so I can demonstrate this. The grid is basically made up of 2 by 16 pieces, 2 of them with a 2 by 16 piece in the middle. By having a 2 by 16 piece, a 2 by 16 piece empty, and another 2 by 16 piece, you're able to walk over that. For some reason, that 2 by 16 gap is not large enough for you to fall through, so you can just run right on top of it. This is what basically tricks the fish into falling into these holes, and they get stuck, and you get a fish. So I create this 2 by 16 walkway just along the bottom, and then I build up from that, sort of rows for the fishing. And that's done with a 2 by 16 walkway with a 6 space gap, and followed up with the 2 by 16 walkway. And what we're going to do is put the fishing holes in the middle of this, and the fish will jump out, hopefully jump sideways, not up and down, because if the fish jumps up and down, there's nothing for it to hit. But we need to leave a big opening for the fishing hole for the fish to actually jump out of. If we do like this pattern here, 2 by 16, 2 by 16, 2 by 16, 2 by 16, all in a row, and put like 5 of them all together, then, and we put the fishing hole in the middle of that, the fish never jump out because there's no hole for them to start the jump. That's what makes this work. So if you notice here, I am alternating black and white for the 2 by 16 flooring pieces here. And that's because when we place the chum buckets, they can't be any closer than 32 studs. So we need to throw the bait bucket about every 32 studs. So here's the start of the white position. Oh, and it's easier to throw it when you're on the left side. So here I'm going to throw this at the beginning of the white, and again on the next beginning of the white one, and you'll see it will stay there. If you get any closer, it's going to take away the one that you previously threw because you were too close to it. So every 32 studs through a bait bucket. And we just caught a fish right there. That was fast. It's auto fish farming, y'all. So that's our first row. To space the second row away from the first row, we're going to place a 2 by 16, surprise. That's our spacer right there. And then we can continue doing the same thing like we did the first row. And this is going to be our second row. Our 2 by 16 walkway. In here I'm just doing it with a different color, so you can see what it looks like if you make it with white or if you make it with black. I prefer to put another 2 by 16 walkway on the other end. It helps you walk between the rows, And it's also nice to have so that you don't, in case you break something, it's not a total disaster. And here we already have fish. We already have fish. And with row 2, we're going to do the same thing. Every 32 studs, we're going to throw that bait bucket. And if you notice, the distance between the first row and the second row is what? It's 16 and 12. So 28. So you can really get as close as 28 studs. So if you really want to, instead of going 16 white and 16 black, 16 white, 16 black, you can go 16, 12, 16, 12, 16, 12. And you can get really close on the rows with the bait buckets. But I do the 16, 16, 16 because when you do get it that tight, sometimes when you place the bait bucket, it might be too close and it takes away from the other bait bucket and that goes away, and then you're left trying to fix the last bait bucket, and just go 16 by 16. Here I think I have 7 rows, and I let it run for about 5 minutes, just standing up there watching it go. And at the end, I had about 20 to 21 fish. It's not extremely fast, but I mean, 5 minutes, I didn't do anything, and I got 20 fish. So, auto fish farming, not auto fish farming. If you want, build this and then fish a hole right next to it so that you're not standing and blocking these fish, and, supplement your fishing with basically doubling your output. Now, you do not need to stay near the fish farm in order for these fish to be jumping out of the little fish areas. I'm working on my Xbox, but I do know if you work on your PC, you have greater memory. So here from the Xbox, I'm testing from about 250 meters away, and I waited 5 minutes away from the auto fish farm area, and all the fish had populated and jumped out of the holes and were caught. So if you have water nearby to your town center that you're working in, this is great news. Just work in your town center every 20 minutes or so, or however long, I don't know. Just go and grab some fish and then just run back. Now, if you exit your world, these bait bucket areas will be lost and gone, so you'll have to rethrow them when you do come back into your world. Also, I've noticed that if you do travel by the bus stations, the bait bucket areas don't go away. However, no more fish will be jumping out of them, so you'll have to rethrow the bait buckets to those areas. And that's fine. Then they will work again, but you've just lost out on some bait buckets. Another positive is if you were to fish these bait bucket holes, you get 20 fish out of them before they disappear. They don't disappear this way. They will give you an unlimited amount of fish that come out of them.